Now we're back. We want to know if there's any like common misconceptions, like or like how do we use the words as opposed like how do the Germans use them? Do we use them any differently?
Okay.
So Angst.
Angst.
Is there any like misconception? Like do we use it differently than the Germans use it?
Yes, Angst in German is a normal word, a word that would be used by everyone.
Right.
And in German, you have fear. So you would say, "I have fear." Ich habe Angst. In English, it's pronounced differently. It's pronounced angst. And usually teenagers do not use, or kids do not use the word angst. It's usually used in political context, and it's usually used in talking about a global themes. And adults would say that they have angst. In colloquial terms, in other words, people on the street would usually not use the word angst, but it's used all the time in German.
Oh.
By kids too. Ich habe Angst. I have fear, which means I'm afraid.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a normal word in German, not a specialized word like in English.
All right.
Are there any misconceptions or misuses for the word schmaltzig?
Schmalzig. Okay, schmalzig. Schmalzig actually comes from the word schmalz, which is, the word schmalz means lard. In the old days, my grandparents, for example, used to put lard on pieces of bread and eat it, because of course those are the war days. My grandparents didn't have much money, and a lot of people in this country do that too. That's where the word schmalz comes from. So it actually means grease or oil. And something that's schmalzig is an adjective, means that it's kind of overly done, over-exaggerated. That's schmalzig. That's how that's used in German. And I think it's used exactly very similar in English. Very similar.
All right.
What about Schadenfreude?
Schadenfreude. Okay, that's an interesting word. That's a compound noun. Freude means joy, the joy. It's a noun. And Schaden means to damage. So someone who is showing Schadenfreude, they are happy because of someone else's mishaps. And that's used the same in English, except we probably don't use it. Not many people know what Schadenfreude means, the normal population. But in the people who read a lot and people who are educated in other parts of the world would know what Schadenfreude means. But you see it a lot in English literature, Schadenfreude. It's a thought that many of us have, unfortunately, where I take joy in something that, like for example,
if I did something bad.
Yeah, for example, if your father wouldn't buy you a car because you didn't get good grades, I would be, as your friend, secretly happy.
Yeah.
I'd be Schadenfreude. It has to do a little with jealousy and envious. I'd be a little envious of you. That's how it's used.
What about poltergeist?
Oh, poltergeist. Poltergeist is used in the United States, in English, a lot of the times during Halloween. Poltergeist is also geist means a spirit, and polter comes from the German verb poltern, which means to make a lot of noise. That's all it means, a spirit that makes a lot of noise. And we see the word poltergeist in someone's house. Like, for example, if your house is haunted, you might think that there's a poltergeist in the house when you hear noises at night when it's really dark. And it's used the same in German as well.
All right.
What about Zeitgeist?
Zeitgeist. Okay. Zeitgeist. Once again, it's a compound noun. Excuse me. The word geist means spirit, but also in a figurative sense means the spirit of something. Like you could have a kind of a geist at a football game. We show kind of a spirit. Zeit means time. So you're talking about the spirit of the times. In other words, it means the zeitgeist is basically the feeling of the times. Like the feeling of the zeitgeist of the United States right now is we're in an economic crisis. So the zeitgeist of nowadays in this country is not very good. Same thing all over in Europe too. You would talk about that in also a political sense. The zeitgeist in Europe right now isn't very good either because of the political the financial situation with Greece and Spain and those countries. Zeitgeist means the current trends in whatever field you're talking about at the time. Same in English.
All right. Thank you. That was the last word.
Okay, that was it?
Appreciate it.
Mr. Bolin, the German teacher at Heritage High School, thank you very much.
You're welcome very much. Thanks for coming by, gentlemen. Come back.
Thank you.
And would you like some chocolate? Hey.